Welcome to day 9 of the World Athletics Club. My name is Chari Hawkins. I cannot believe that we are getting so close to the end of these championships. I thought it was appropriate that I take you around Hayward Field today, and we're starting it off at the start line of the 100 meters. First up, let's look at yesterday's highlights.
Miller-Weibo in lane 3. Williams on the outside. Paulino is trying to get in the mix for the podium. And while she is coming past Williams, it's going to be all gold for Miller-Weibo, the record breaker, the history maker. Paulino takes the silver, Williams the bronze for Barbados. Incredible from all three of them, but at last she completes her set of global golds.
Karani James, Michael Norman, Matt Hudson-Smith, and here comes the world record holder Wade van Niekerk. Michael Norman digging deep in front of this Hayward Field home crowd. It is going to be Michael Norman.
I think he'll feel like he's got a monkey off his back here, because everyone's known for 3 or 4 years that he's got the talent to become a global champion. He failed to do so in Doha, he failed to do so in Tokyo, but here perhaps, when the pressure was even more intense, because the crowd were desperately willing him to get that gold, his nerve held good. Looking for an improvement on 62.92, needs another 30 centimetres or so to move into the lead. Oh yes!
Hirako Kitaguchi, her best 62 metres and 7 centimetres from the first round. Has she got any more? And that's could be really good.
Kara Winger, the crowd are willing her here. Oh yes! That is massive! And what about that? Kelsey Lee Barber, she becomes the first woman in history to successfully defend this title. McLaughlin's gone storming past Dalila Mohammed. Femke Bol trying to get in the mix for a podium finish. But this is about McLaughlin, and it's about the clock. Remember, they are the 3 fastest we've ever seen, and McLaughlin is in front by miles. Watch the clock. 51.41 is the world record. This is utterly staggering. Take a moment to savor this. We're watching a once-in-a-generation athlete performing at the peak of her powers, and it is a new world record. Femke Bol takes the silver, Dalila Mohammed the bronze. People in the stadium are on their feet. They're stunned. They're utterly stunned. And so is she. She has smashed the world record. How could she be that far clear from the 2nd and 3rd fastest athletes ever?
We are currently in the shot put ring, where this is all the space that the athletes, both male and female, have to make their incredible strength known. And it's sure to get a huge reaction. And speaking of reactions, let's take a look at what social media has to say. I am at the water jump for the steeplechase, and the distance from this barrier all the way to the end of the pit is 3.66 meters or 12 feet. Now, not every athlete is going to clear it completely, but no matter if they land in the water and keep running or they clear it absolutely clean, they're gonna have to be pretty efficient. World Athletics wants us to be more efficient to get to Hayward Field as well. That includes biking, taking the bus, or taking a walk, just to, lessen that carbon footprint. Let's take a look.
Bike Share launched in Eugene in 2018. It all got started actually with a grant that was written by a University of Oregon student that wound up getting combined with some public funds. And in March of 2018, we launched with about 300 bicycles. It's been very successful on campus and in downtown. But ridership has actually grown by quite a bit over the years. A lot of resident Eugenians, many of which have their own bikes, have found it to be a great option for when their own bike is in the shop, or if they want to ride somewhere where maybe they don't want to lock up their personal bike. We've strengthened the bike share system in preparation for Worlds in a couple of different ways. One, we just added 50 additional bikes to the fleet. It was actually a gracious donation from Nike, from their corporate campus up in Beaverton. We also added several free parking areas so that folks can make it easier to afford being able to use the bikes while they're visiting town. And we also added parking areas that didn't even exist before. We employed the use of electric assist tricycles to move the bikes around in the denser parts of campus and downtown. And as we've seen a lot of road closures here for the event, the tricycles have proved to be particularly useful, being able to get into places where it's challenging or impossible to get to with a motor vehicle, so that we can rebalance the number of bikes available from one area to another without having to fight our way through traffic. Another thing that we've been doing is increasing we gave all the bikes an extra safety check right beforehand, just to make sure that they're running in tip-top shape and they're clean and they're comfortable.
I am on the starters podium, getting ready to talk about a conversation that was had between two sprint hurdlers. We have Aries Merritt, the current world record holder, and Trey Cunningham, the silver medalist from 2022, sat down and talked a little bit about their relationship. Let's catch up with them.
This is my biggest critic, probably. Yeah. Technique specialist. The big brother I've never had, really, because I'm trying to do what he did and eventually beat what he did.
Trey knows, and I preach this to everybody I talk to. Championship racing requires perfection. Like he said, I'm his biggest critic because I want him to be one of the best, and he has the potential to do so. And this is his first World Championships, so we expect him to, make some mistakes. But then as he becomes more seasoned, those mistakes are going to go out the window. He has to expect perfection.
He knows there's 12 opportunities to mess up, and it is about negating those mess ups at the point when it happens. But like you said, you gotta basically be flawless to get to that line first.
We are a country that's rich in the hurdles, and the legacy has to continue. And I want nothing but the best for these athletes. I want them to be the best version of themselves. I want them to want to break my world record. I want them to do it because it's better for the sport. It's better for everyone.
Today's legend doesn't really need an introduction, but I'm going to introduce her anyways because she's one of my favorite athletes of all time. This is Jackie Joyner-Kersee. You might know her as, the greatest athlete of all time. Let's check it out.
I'm Jackie Joyner-Kersee, 4-time Olympian, 3 gold medals. I competed in 4 different Olympic Games. 84, I won a silver medal in the heptathlon. 88, came back with double gold in the heptathlon and the long jump. And I set the world record and the Olympic record in the long jump as well as the heptathlon. 88, 92, heptathlon, back-to-back gold medals, bronze medal in the long jump, and finally a bronze medal again in the 1996 Olympics. Being called the greatest of all time, I realized it took a lot of work. It just wasn't me. My coaches who believed in me at the very beginning when I first started running track, and then to stay on course, to believe and trust the process, trust the training, and not looking for accolades in the end, but knowing that every time I stepped out on the track, I gave my all. Because I wasn't looking for world records, I was looking to put myself in a position to win. And then if a record would come, it would come. And to be regarded still today, as the greatest, I'm very honored, I'm humbled by it. But it took a lot of work, and it took a team for me to be able to achieve the goals that I was able to achieve during my years of competing. The lessons I learned from track and field over the years is, one, you have to set goals. You have to believe in yourself. You have to work hard. The work is never done. Even if you have achieved one goal that you have set for yourself, you still have to go back to the drawing board. You have to remain coachable. You know, for me, it was always remaining coachable, and no matter how great people said I was at that particular time, I always had to be willing to listen to my coach, work harder every day. Being out there, if you want to be the best, you can't rest on your laurels, you can't become complacent, you have to always be willing to put in the work.
Just a stone throws away from right here at Hayward Field, we have McMenamins, and it is the place to be whether you're a fan or an athlete alike. We have GB Olympian Tom Farrell to show us around, and now I'm kind of hungry, so let's check it out.
This is McMenamins on Agate, which is about 150 metres a block from Hayward. It's a great place. A lot of people come to grab a drink, meet friends, meet family right before walking into Hayward if you're spectating. Very Oregon famous.
Sometimes I genuinely cannot believe what these athletes are doing here at these championships, and honestly, neither can you. Here are the best of the fan reactions. Thank you so much for joining me on another day of the World Athletics Club. My name is Chari Hawkins, and I hope you enjoyed this beautiful stadium tour, and I'm getting ready for today's exciting events. I will see you tomorrow.